he was called Qjackthe before. What is he called in Kebio? Lost. Okay. Alrighty. I don't know how many of you guys will be here from yesterday's video, but I was feeling so bad that day. Like literally after I finished filming, I was bedridden the rest of the day. Like I had to call my little brother and be like, help, help me. I needed a whole bunch of things to be done and I just lost energy and was in bed the rest of the day. So I apologize for the abrupt ending in part one. Part of me was thinking about re-recording that whole first part, but then the reactions wouldn't be genuine. This video is definitely going to be way more thorough than yesterday's. So we're gonna carry on. I'll give a recap of what happened. I got a long list of different bands over on TikTok because I made a video talking about how, you know, certain bands, they're not underrated. They only had 4 songs. So I made that kind of a haha joke over on TikTok and people were like, hey, that's not true. This band and this band deserve to shine. They started giving different bands that weren't around very long and only had like a couple songs, as well as other bands that aren't well known but have a lot of songs despite not being really well known. So I got kind of like a little bit of both. I wrote them all down, alphabetized them, and listened to them during work. We stopped on Ganmi yesterday, and with Ganmi I put kinda no. I'll show them here again just in case. I have brackets where I wrote very, very short series of words or thoughts about the band upon seeing them for the first time. Please don't take these words to heart. This was just my first unfiltered impression. Some of these are nice, some of these are okay, and some of these are like rude. Some of them don't make any sense. Like yesterday I was saying a band, I think it was Shanti, reminded me of Dimlim, and I don't know for sure if that's all correct, but that's what I put. So I wonder what about that band reminded me remotely of Dimlim. I don't know. I don't understand what I wrote, but that's okay. That's what makes it more interesting, you know? And while my computer is loading, my name is Savette, if you are new here. Hello. I talk about Visual K and other stuff, hopefully more anime in the future. I really want to get back into that, but yeah, I talk about Visual K mostly at this point. Okay, the first, 17th, 18th band. We went through 17 yesterday. I saw it written down. Thank God I'm smart enough to recognize that the me of tomorrow will forget everything. The next band after Ganmi is Gam. G-A-M. For them, I put no. Let me see what they actually look like. Let me pull up a picture. Sorry to anybody who is or was a fan of their music. Sometimes looking at these pictures will jog my memory of like what I thought upon seeing them. And sometimes it doesn't do anything at all because let's face it, a lot of Visual K bands look similar. So we'll see if these guys look similar to every other band. Oh yeah, I remember these guys. I really like their style. Like upon seeing photos of them, because I did look up pictures of these bands first, upon seeing photos of them, I was really, really, really excited to listen to this band's music. Unfortunately, I did not like the music, so for this band, I gave them a no. My reasoning is the voice, don't really like. That's what I put in brackets. Which, if I don't like the voice, then there's no point in continuing. There's no point. Moving on, band 18 was Qjackthe. There's no way I said that incorrectly. That's gotta be the way to pronounce that band. What I wrote in brackets was voice is pleasant. Voice goes high with melodic songs. Pretty song scars. That song must have made an impression on me because I put it down here. So let's look at what Qjackthe looks like. No, I was thinking of another band. This was not the image I had in my head. There's not much I can do with this, to be honest, but I did put a kinda yes for them. That's what I put. So something in their music made me want to check them out more seriously in the future. So if you're a fan of Qjackthe, yay. The next band, I think a lot of people know this band actually. They're called Kakusei Aria. Kakusei Aria. I put a no for them. I put very playful and cute, commercial, not really my thing, but not bad. So if this is the band that I think it is, I am not really too much into bands that feel very idle. There are some exceptions, like for example, I was talking about in the last video, Gravity. Gravity does kind of feel a little bit like that sometimes. And then there's another band that I'm gonna mention on here that does feel very idle, but for the most part, I'm not really into idolish like bands. It's not really my thing. Oh, they're so beautiful though, aren't they? Here's a picture of them. I don't. Hopefully I'm moving out the way because in editing, it's going to be a pain if I'm not providing room for these pictures. But Kakusei, Aria, yeah, they're beautiful. They're gorgeous, but I just, like, I can't. It feels very sometimes with some visual K bands, especially the newer ones coming out under certain companies, it feels very idle. It feels very plastic. I'm trying to choose my words carefully because I do understand that these are people, and that even non-idolish visual K groups can be fake, you know. I get it, but for me it was too idle. So yeah, that's how I felt about Kakusei, Aria, but I think they are pretty popular because I've heard of them before. If I'm not mistaken, their name is typically in Japanese. You guys know I was in the middle of like looking up the band's name in actual Japanese instead of like Kakusei Aria spelled out right. And there's something here on J-Rock 1 about one of the members being hospitalized because of arrest and charges against him. So I wonder what that's about. It says they disbanded last year. I thought they were still around, but I guess not, man. Whatever's going on with that. That's crazy. The next band is Kimono Virus, which I also have heard of. I put a no for them as well. What I said was feels very idle, not really a fan. Oh, that would be like the second band in a row to feel very idle. Ah, yes. I remember watching a couple videos. I really wish I would have put Kinda No on here. I don't hate it. It just feels not really a fan. That's all I have to say. Not really a fan. Not bad, because I do understand that there are some people that like that type of setup, but I don't. I was kind of surprised because I've heard the name around a lot, but I had never watched anything from them. So when I first watched a music video from them, I was like, oh, I kind of get why the name's been floating around, because I do think idol-like visual K bands do carry a certain appeal and their names are kind of thrown around a lot, but it wasn't my jam. The next band is Kein. Let's look at them first before I give my bracket statement. Oh yeah, I remember this group. If I'm not mistaken, the vocalist for this band was in another band or was either solo. I did look into the vocalist of this band a little bit deeper. I just don't remember the full context of why. But I didn't put any information on that, so I'm not going to continue talking about me looking into the vocalist because of like the amount of visual K groups on here, I might not know what I'm talking about. I like the vocals, not the songs though. That happens so often to me where I'll really enjoy vocals. There's a band that I'm gonna make a video about at some point. I'm not gonna mention them here. There's a band where I actually looked at the history of every single band the vocalist was in because I liked their vocals so much. Did not like any of the songs from any of the bands that the vocalist was in. I was pissed. Such great vocals, can't find a damn song that sounds good to me. Oh my God, it was aggravating. But yeah, that's probably what happened with this band. I put Kinda No. That means there was something I liked. When I'm a fan of vocals, it's really hard for me to give like a full no, but the no comes from there not being any songs that I liked from this band. Kein. The next band is Lumiere. Please tell me I'm pronouncing that right. There's no way that I could have incorrectly pronounced Lumiere. There's no way. Let's see what they look like. This is not what I pictured at all. I have no recollection of this picture, of saving this picture to my computer. But they look really cool. Very, very old school. I like the colors, like the blonde, the blue, the silver. especially the silver. I don't know what that person's name is, but the eye makeup and the lip and the silver hair with the beanie, that's super, super cute. I really like that. Unfortunately for this band, I put no. I wonder about the me from the past. This is what I put in the brackets though. I put only one song. Quality was all right. Nothing impressive in my opinion. I don't like the way music from this era is produced. Damn. What era are they from? So I looked it up. Lumiere was a visual K band in Sendai. They were active from 2001 to 2003. I don't know what my statement, I don't like the way music from this era is produced, I don't know what that's about. I probably just didn't like the way the one song that I listened to was produced. And I was probably mad. Probably disappointed because the band looked super cool. But yeah, that's what I put. And that was a no. The next band is Mizukami Clinic. I wonder if Mizukami Clinic was another idol-like band. Mizukami Clinic. No, they weren't. Were they? I remember this picture. This is a very nice picture. I like this type of thing. I like this type of look. This is not the band that I was thinking of. I'm thinking of another band that's on here, mentioned later. I'm looking at it now, what I put in brackets. I put cutesy, idol-like, electronic, cute stuff. So very cutesy. It's a no. Looking at the picture that I have here, it's really hard to remember what the music video experience was like, because when I picture these guys being idolish, it's very difficult for me to picture. So we're gonna have to take a break and pull up a video from these guys because I'm perplexed. I did want to mention for a lot of these bands, a lot of the music videos that I was able to watch was because of VKGY. If you guys are having a hard time finding material for these bands, you can find it definitely on there, because even now I'm having a hard time finding Mizukami PVs on YouTube, just searching organically. I'm having to copy and paste the Japanese in order to find it. I think I should give Mizukami Clinic another try. Cause I get the reason why I put idol, but it's not really giving as strong idol as I originally thought. This didn't seem too bad. I'm gonna put revisit. Anyways, we spent a lot of time on Mizukami Clinic. The next band is Marry+an+blood. There are plus signs, or I guess you could say crosses, between Marry on and blood. I guess I could just put the picture here of the band. I like the piano, but the swastika is a no for me. So yeah, anything that I find, especially presently, because I know there are some visual K groups that I grew up listening to, and eventually I found out that they wore swastikas at some point, and it was just like, well, dude, I'm already invested this much. I'm not picking up any newer bands that have done that at this point in my life. I'm not going to really go into too much detail about this band. For Marry+an+blood, I just put no. Most likely I saw the swastika and just didn't listen to them anymore. Let's go on to the next group. The next group is the Piass. I've actually heard of this band before. I put, like the instrumentals, has an old nostalgia feel. Let's look up a picture of them. Oh yeah, I've seen them a lot. I've seen them a lot on Tumblr. I like the all red concept. I think that's really cool. That's all I said about them though. I put like the instrumentals has an old nostalgia feel. I voted yes for them. So I will be going back and listening to more of their music. Kind of happy to see that I put yes, because again, I've seen them around a lot. When it comes to like spreads of old school visual K bands, I've seen them quite often. The next group is Qjackthe. Amazing how my brain just organized that. Qjackthe. I think these guys, there's something Chinese. Do these guys sing in Mandarin Chinese? I hope I'm correct about that. There was something, I remember exactly who they are. And I was watching a music video and like, I don't know if it's them having Chinese members or they were singing in Chinese or they're a Chinese visual K band. They're so beautiful though. I really, really like them. Well, that's kind of a spoiler before I actually get a chance to read the brackets. For them, I put Like the way the music is mixed, decent voice, they look cool, and I put yes. They're very, very beautiful. Hopefully somebody will be able to correct me. I am gonna go back at some point and like look at the history of the bands that I did choose to put yes on and kinda yes on, but there was something in there that was Chinese. I just don't remember exactly what it was, and I don't want to be wrong. I could be getting more wrong and wrong with every single sentence that I'm adding. The next group is the Reveude. The revolution will be televised. The Reveude. I'm just gonna say the Reveude. That is probably incorrect as hell. Let's actually look up a picture of them. The Reviewed. Ooh, they look really cool. I like them. At least how they look. I gotta read the brackets to know if I actually did like them. The brackets say like the voice, and I put kinda. Very vague, but that means there was something there to attract my attention enough to check them out later. So didn't put much for this band, but upon looking at this photo, they look really, really, really cool. For some reason, there's something visually pleasing about there being 3 members for a band, like the way certain magazine spreads are made. Seeing 3 people in a spread is just visually pleasing. I don't know if it's just the balance of there being 3 points. Fabulous. I love it all. All right, guys, I don't know what number we're on. Oh, I actually marked it. Look at me. I didn't mark all of them with numbers either, just like a couple. And this one actually has a number next to it. The next band is Trickbook. Let's actually look at what Trickbook looks like. Oh yeah, I remember them now. Oh my God, their PV that I watched was so creative and so cool. It had the 2 female vocalists. It's all coming together. The lady with the black wig, really liked her vocals a lot. And then the other lady, the vocals were okay. I'm gonna read the brackets now since I already said all that. I like one of the ladies' voices, not both. Okay. Okay, brackets. Like the concept of 2 female vocalists. Yeah, here I said I only like one of the ladies' vocals. I'm sure the other ladies wasn't that bad. For this band, I put kinda yes. Is this considered a visual K band? I don't really feel like looking it up on Google. I am just going to assume that everybody is correct. Somebody did give me a group that DJ Season was in. I don't know if it's DJ Season. I think it's DJ Season. They gave me a group that DJ Season was in, and they're not visual K. So I was super confused. Anyways, next group is Tinc. Tinc. I'm gonna say Tinc, although it may just be something else entirely. I am a very big, I read it on the paper, guys, so it's kind of like a spoiler for myself. I really liked growing up Shelly Trip Realize. So when I realized that these guys were Shelly Trip Realize essentially, there was no way I was going to say no. As a kid, I was really invested in Shelly Trip Realize, and I kind of outgrew them, but starting to listen to Tinc and being like, there's something familiar about this, and then realizing the members being in Shelly Trip Realize, I was like, hold up, I remember those guys. I was so into them. So I had like a whole session of nostalgia just listening to Shelly Trip Realize videos and songs. And I was just so smiley and happy because the music is just such good vibes. So there was no way I was gonna put no for Tinc. Then brackets I put, I'm a Shelly Trip Realize devoter. Shelly Trip Realize devotee. Devoter? I don't know. I'm not able to English properly today, am I? Before I move on to the next group, don't they look so cool? I really like this look. It's like simple, it's not overstimulating, and it's also like fabulous with the cheetah print. But I also could just be really invested because of how much love and nostalgia I have for like these guys. Okay, the next band is Ringo Ame. I liked the way these guys looked. I'm a sucker for 3 people in a band. So for Ringo Ame, I put screaming and growling is awkward and weird. Voice doesn't match the music very well. I put no. I really don't feel like experiencing again what I experienced in these brackets. So I'm just gonna take my word for it, you know? I do remember listening to a band on this list where the screaming and growling was just not that great at all. It was actually kind of weird. That's saying a lot. I've heard a lot of different growling and screaming in visual K. I don't think I liked this very much. I wonder if there was a hell no option. I wouldn't put a hell no, because that would be mean. I like to always remind myself that these are real human beings. Next band, Starku. 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 Yeah, there's no U. Starku. For these guys, let's look up a picture of them real quick. I like the way these guys look too. The vocalist is really short compared to, I mean, I guess he's not that short, but he has a hat, so that's adding height. Anyways, for them, I put Everything Is Fine. I probably just need to hear a different song. I put Kinda Yes. So this sounds like I'm trying to convince myself that I like them just based on what I put in the brackets. So I'm gonna look up a song real quick. I'm not gonna do this for every band, which we only have 3 left. What did I mean? Just haven't listened to the right song. What does that mean? Okay, I'm gonna take my word for it. I've listened to enough. I put Kind of Yes for them. Kinda Yes. We'll move on to the next band because that was probably overkill. The next group is Sleep My Dear. What I put in brackets was has an old school feel like the bass lines. Let's see what I'm talking about. Sleep My Dear. Bro, where are you at? Sleep. I found a file on my computer that says Sleep My Sexy. What is that? I don't know, but I will be finding out later what that is. I don't remember anything about looking into this group, but apparently I like the bass lines. And I put yes, and that is a yes, not a kind of yes. So there's something that I liked about them. I look forward to going back and seeing what the heck that was about. When it comes to the old school bands, you know, usually it's a hit or miss. It's kind of easy to put yes or no. You either like the sound or you don't. It must be the old school feel that I like and not the one that I dislike very much, because there is an old school feel that's like very, very dated and just doesn't sound too good to me. Yeah, Sleep My Dear. If anybody has any recommendations for any of these groups at all, that I've mentioned where you're like, hey, maybe Savette hasn't heard this song, then definitely type away. Or if you have a band where you were with them when they started and like depressed when they disbanded because you felt like they were looking to be a promising group, you can also put that. You can cry on the keyboard. The next group I have heard of, they're called Vurny. Let's look them up first. And this is the second to last group. If you were still here, thank you. I don't know why I just paused, but thank you. Like I said in part 1, I usually script my videos or like make bullet points because I'm a better writer than I am speaker, but I didn't with this one. And I feel very wordy. Very, very wordy. Dude, Vurny, where are you? Oh yeah, dude. I remember these guys. They look so cool. I'm just going to read to you guys what I have in the brackets. Love the voice changing of the vocalist. I don't know what that means. I think the vocalist sounds different at different points in the song. That's probably what I mean. I also put they look cute. I didn't expect such a heavy sound. Love the contrast. So I do remember what I meant when I wrote that. They sound different from how they look. And I really, really like that about this band. I put a super yes. This was one of the bands I was mostly impressed by. And I've heard the name before. Never listened to the music. I remember just being very, very upset that they disbanded, even though I wasn't exactly there for the disbandment of this band. Do I have anything else to say about them? Dude, I have Strange Rabbit stuck in my head right now. Happy Lucky. Oh, there's another band. I don't know. Tori Kabuto? Oh, they're active, but they're themed differently. That's dark. Okay, the vocalist of Vurny went to several other Kebyo? Okay, now I'm even more excited. I don't want to take you guys on this journey with me because believe me, it's long, thorough, and probably super boring to just watch. But I will be reviewing where all of these band members went after Vurny, because apparently the vocalist for Vurny went on and was in Kebyo, which I didn't know Kebyo was disbanded, but now I'm seeing that this vocalist is in Tori Kabuto, so I'm assuming Kebyo is disbanded. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent. Kebyo is semi-active according to VKGY. Wow. I'm so happy when I find bands that have connections to other bands that I already liked. So the vocalist of Kebyo was in Vurny. which means he went on to continue to make music, which is always nice to see when you have bands that sound good, you know? He was called Qjackthe before. What is he called in Kebyo? Lost. Okay. Alrighty. The next band is called Zolpidem. Zolpidem. I want to name this band correctly because there's a YouTuber on here that was very popular. I think I've watched one video of his like a long time ago. I think it was like a makeup tutorial, but he's very, very popular, or was, or is. I guess at this point is. You guys probably know who I'm talking about, so I'll just put a picture of him here. I'll go on Google and see if I can find a picture of him. I don't think he was in any bands before this point. I think he was originally a Visual Kei fan. I don't know the history of this dude, okay? I just seen him around, okay? It's not really that hard to get to know the familiar faces in the Visual Kei space, but I do remember him making Visual Kei videos in the past. So this dude was in this band, so I did recognize him. But I didn't put the face of him in the band together until I looked up the band and I was like, oh, that's the band that this guy is in. I put in brackets, dancing Qjackthe. I'm assuming that's his name, but I don't know if I'm saying it right. And I'm gonna look it up because I don't want to. Qjackthe? J-pop. Is it considered J-pop? Wow. Okay. Is this Visual Kei, guys? Because Google's giving me like, why do they have a K-pop profile? Zolpidem. Is this band a Visual Kei band? Or is it just kind of modeled after a Visual Kei band? I'm so confused. Oh my god, this is so long. 19 minutes. I've been recording this segment for 19 minutes. Dancing Qjackthe. I like how the vocals layer. I think I like the multiple vocalist format here. Nice fits. That's what I put. When I listened to, because I remember a little bit from the Zolpidem. What I remember from the experience is I liked their vocals, as in like the way they would layer on top of each other. Pretty sure this group did have kind of like an idolish setup as well. Even though they had that setup, I really did like the music enough to where I was okay with the setup. And of course they look cute and adorable. I had never checked out their music and I thought it was nice. I thought the music was nice. I really love the outfits. Like they are very aesthetically pleasing to look at. Anything else I wanna say about these guys? Zolpidem. Can somebody tell me how to say this freaking name? Is it a drug? Is this a drug? It's something that treats insomnia, classified as a sedative hypnotic, meaning it slows down the central nervous system. Okay, Visual Kei. I be thinking these are like made up band names and they're actual things, especially in the drug and plant family. Zolpidem is a gothic Lolita boy idol group. Oh, that's really cute. Dude, why is it so hard to find a freaking picture of them in like 1080? For this band, I put yes, by the way. I probably should have said that sooner. It's gonna take me some time to research them. Probably butchered so much in this video with many of these bands. You know one thing? Because they're named after a drug, I can probably look up how to say this. Or if I'm saying it right, Zolpidem. You know guys, I don't know much about like drugs or anything. I actually watched a video about fentanyl the other day because I had no idea what fentanyl was. Didn't even know it existed. So I watched like this really cool animated video. It's actually trending on YouTube right now of fentanyl and what it does and like how it relates to like heroin. It was crazy. I was just like, bruh, people out here doing drugs I've never even conceptualized. Like what?
Zolpidem.
What did I say? Now I forgot what I said. I said Zolpidem. Zolpidem. Why would they name themselves that? Why? Okay, Zolpidem. 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 I think I can remember that. I'm probably going to have to come back on here and re-look up how to say it 15,000 times until it finally clicks. But yeah, that was the last band, and I liked their music. I thought it was cute. I thought they were cute. And that is the end of this video. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. Like I said, it was unscripted, unbulletin pointed. Sometimes that wrecks my nerves, you know, because I'm just like, am I going on and on and on and on in a circle about nothing? And the answer is yes. If you guys are familiar with any of the bands on here and you were like, hey, this band deserved to shine, I'm sorry for you, okay? Because most of them, a good chunk of them were disbanded, and some of them had disbanded recently. It's always sad when you have bands that disband because you like never know when it's going to happen. You don't know if this is going to be the band that lasts the next 10 years or if this is going to be the band that disbands in 1 year, and it can be super aggravating. Regardless, my point of the TikTok video I made was like, dude, you don't have to say that, hey, this band is underrated if they were only around for like 1 year or 2 years. They weren't around long enough to be underrated. People needed time to find them. Me, I'm just finding most of these bands now. I didn't even know about Vurny, how it connects to Qjackthe. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a day, guys. If you like this video, please like the video. It always helps. And thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I can get these 2 videos edited back to back. And hopefully this part was more entertaining than the first part, because dude, I was about to die. Anyways, guys, it's been real. Peace out.